listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
Here we go, because we all know apparently every intro is better with Guile music from Street Fighter,
right.
According to Kaori. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to AfterBuzz WWE Main Event. We are brought to you by Bing Biggins for doing, and we are doing another WWE Main Event. Welcome, everybody. I am professional wrestling's voice of choice, Christian Rosenberg, holding down the fort, but of course I'm not doing that alone. I got the rest of my stable right over here. The lovely Kaori Takee hanging out here,
What's
the
up,
one who
guys?
came up with the idea to play the Guile music.
It never gets old for me.
Sonic Boom!
And I'm very excited that Cameron Cash took a break from sailing the 7 seas to make it out here to return with us this evening.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I gotta say, I love sailing the boats on the seas. That's all I gotta say about that.
All right.
Well, they already killed him on The Walking Dead, so...
Well, there you go. Well, welcome back, guys. We are here because we are talking about WWE Main Event for the week of March 13th, held in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And, you know, we're on that road to WrestleMania, just a little over 3 weeks away, really starting to build things up to it.
Can I just say real quickly, I want to dedicate this show to a guy by the name of DC Does It. He gave me an amazing, heartfelt comment, and I just want to say this one's for you, buddy.
Do you want to share what that comment was?
Yeah.
It was a flattering and magnanimous comment, and I was quite humbled by it, and we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. And that brought the energy.
Cameron is very good in bed. There you go.
That was the comment.
That was
Cameron
the comment.
was very
You damn right it was the comment.
Is there some AC in here, by the way?
Yeah, it's getting hot in here.
I'm just letting you
All right, we got the AC going because things are really heating up here. WWE heading towards WrestleMania. We start things off with Ricardo Rodriguez introducing, as you actually see on the television right behind us as well. We got Main Event playing behind us. The World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio coming out on Main Event. Very exciting to see, the World Heavyweight Champion show up on the show like Main Event. You can tell the kids super excited because, Del Rio, like, he's the man. He's our champion.
Yeah.
We love him because he loves America, because he says he was made in America. And he comes out, you see all the CCC posters. Del Rio's got a smile on his face because, he wants to show us something really, really funny.
I gotta say, this whole Made in America thing reminds me of WCW's old theme song for Hulk Hogan. He's American made. Remember it starts off with that?
The beautiful singing styles of Cameron
It was a
Cash.
horrible theme song, which is why I still love the real American, whatever, the WWE version of that theme song. Anyway,
so we come back, and Del Rio's talking about something really made him laugh. And, and it's the fact that he was really happy that he's out here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, doing the cheap Mick Foley pop, just, trying to get more fans to, be happy with him. But, he saw something that he found very funny that he says Jack Swagger was saying, one of those videos that him and Zeb have been posted online. And we cut to it, and it's the same exact video that we have seen on last week's SmackDown, Raw this past Monday, and now tonight on Main Event. The little thing where Ricardo dresses up as Zeb, Del Rio dresses up as Swagger, where honestly, at first I didn't even recognize it was Del Rio.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
And
him.
they're just talking about Mexican food. And the fact that, WWE is all about be a star, anti-bullying, and they're pretty much making fun of Zeb Coulter's weight. So it's just like, oh, interesting from the
Really?
the top baby face. Well, they're talking about all the food that they love eating, and
That would only mean-
Ricardo's rubbing his belly while it's happening and all that.
Yeah, but they also mentioned burritos, tacos, quesadillas, enchiladas. Not all of those things make you fat.
And pizza and French fries and all that.
Well, the promo did one thing for me, and that was make me hungry.
Yes.
I do kind of wish that Ricardo didn't lose the accent. It kind of felt like, why is he so American all of a sudden? I know that's like the thing, but I like the shtick is his like.
Well, he's bilingual.
I know, but I like
just like Del Rio. He might have been born across American borders, but he was made in America, which is what Del Rio is all about.
That's right.
But after the video package rolls, Del Rio is saying, I got to get to business because I'm not just here to talk about Jack Swagger. And as soon as he does that, we are interrupted by the Big Show, and all of a sudden we got an Elimination Chamber rematch right here on WWE Main Event. We're gonna have Alberto Del Rio versus the Big Show. Cole and Miz start things out, talking about how the Big Show was attacked by the Shield again on Raw with a triple powerbomb hit again during the Big Show Seth Rollins match. And, all of a sudden, right from the get-go, though, Del Rio hits a backstabber early. Big Show rolls out of the ring. And, Del Rio in control. But all of a sudden, here comes Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter just slowly, almost slithering-like. That's what I was trying to say. Around the stage area, of course, causing the distraction for Del Rio. Real quick, before we go on in this match, I know I talked last week about Miz being the commentator. I'm kind of curious as to why Michael Cole is doing this show as well. Only because they have so many commentators. Obviously Michael Cole and Lawler are on the flagship show. They're on Raw. SmackDown's mainly meant for Josh Matthews and JBL. Why not, Scott Stanford or Tony Dawson, their other play-by-play guys, give one of them. I mean, Tony Dawson just pretty much does NXT right now, which is not on television. And so I say give him main event, personally. Make it Tony Dawson and Miz if you're going to keep Miz there. This way you have a different play-by-play guy, because eventually you have to build people up, because eventually Michael Cole is going to retire. Like eventually JR retired, and then they were in this whole dilemma of we don't have anybody to replace JR. And that's why JR still once in a while pops back in, because they're still not 100% confident in all the replacements. So, you got all these other shows now. And, of course, you got the wonderful world of YouTube, bring things up. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Honestly, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal at all.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I think on an aesthetic level, Michael Cole kind of looks like the Miz's dad, so that might be like a very fun reason.
I really hope the Miz hears
really
that one.
Cheesy, but
I
they
really
do
hope
kind
the
of
Miz
look alike.
hears that one.
I think so, but I mean, of course, there are many different commentators that probably could fit the bill.
Sure.
I don't think the people watching are seeing a father and son connection as they hear the commentary.
No, I'm not saying that's why. I'm just saying I don't know, they look good together. But that's just a pure aesthetics thing. It has nothing to do with wrestling, really.
Who knows? Anyway, back to the match. That was just my little sidetrack thing there. Back to the match. Crowd's getting, behind Del Rio, because all of a sudden we come back from the commercial when Swagger came out, and Big Show is constantly working on Del Rio's arm, which is very different because it's normal Del Rio working on the arm. So all of a sudden Big Show working on the arm could possibly prevent Del Rio from getting the full force of his cross arm breaker later on. So I thought an interesting strategy that we really haven't seen too much of people use against Del Rio. Let's see, the crowd, like I said, getting behind Del Rio. He's fighting back. Turns a powerbomb into a nice hurricanrana, big super kick, but Big Show kicks out with authority. Big Show with a beautiful counter out of when Del Rio tried to do the cross-arm breaker, literally lifted him up with one arm and threw him down on the apron outside of the ring. And as Del Rio's coming to, all of a sudden, the ref's talking to Big Show. Swagger runs down, gives a big chop block on Del Rio, noted on the knee that did not have the extra padding on it, the other knee, and Del Rio is unable to get to his feet before the count of 10. And once again, in a non-title match, although this time by countout, the champion loses. And again, kind of similar to what I said last week with Sin Cara and Cesaro. When a champion loses, that person who defeats him should be in line for a title shot. But you already got this thing with Swagger and Del Rio. Why now suddenly have Big Show pull off a victory?
I've got two things to say about this, guys. First of all, the count out. What were the writers thinking? I mean, the whole idea of a match ending in count out just makes me feel irate. It makes me feel I want to vomit, man.
Why?
Because even the video game developers from the past will give you an extra 10 seconds. They give you 20 seconds to prevent the game from winning in a count out. I mean, it is by far the worst way to end a wrestling match. Think of something better, guys.
I don't agree with you at all on that one. I mean, I'm just if Del Rio won, by a count out someone on Big Show, or if the match ended in a DQ, a Swagger attacking Del Rio would have made much more sense. Well, it doesn't make much sense for Del Rio losing by count out, but I mean, I don't see anything wrong with a count out match.
Well, then if you have nothing wrong with a count out, imagine Cena versus Rock ending in a count out. You're gonna have trash thrown in the ring.
I'd personally love it because I wouldn't expect it.
Oh, please.
If it's something unexpected, if it's something I wouldn't expect, then I love it more. That's why, like, anytime I do predictions, I hope I'm wrong.
Do you realize how many people are paying to see WrestleMania 29, Cena versus Rock, round 2?
Yes.
No one wants to see it end in a count out. Nobody.
You'd be surprised. You would be very, very surprised. Well, anyway, so that's how that match ends. Big Show wins by the count out. Del Rio having troubles getting to his feet. And you just see Swagger with like an evil grin standing on the stage with Zeb. Out of our little 5-star rating that we've been doing, I think I have a guess on what Cameron's rating is going to be for this one. But, Kaori, what do you think?
I would give it a 3. I don't think there was anything wrong with the count-out personally. I wasn't expecting it. But the match was entertaining, and then the drop into the apron was cool. Swagger going in there, kind of adding a piece. It was fine. It was fine.
Cameron?
I want to hear what you got to say first, buddy.
What I got to say?
Yeah, what's your rating?
All right. Well, I would probably give this one, I would probably give it 2.5. I like the distance. I like the crowd getting into it. It just seemed personally a little sloppy in the ring for me. But obviously, these guys have performed great matches before. So, I don't know, maybe it was just like a little bit of an off night. Maybe a little thrown off by the fact, hey, they're putting a match of this caliber on Main Event. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I would, give, probably, if we were doing in between a 2.5 and a 3, but I'll stick with a 2.5.
Okay.
Well, you could always say 2 and 3 4-star.
I could, but then we're getting real specific.
Don't complicate things for me, please.
A 2.87 star. No, go ahead. What do you think,
Well,
Cameron?
I gave it a 1 and 3/4 stars. That's the way
Okay.
I believe you can use quarter stars. And may I just, if it's okay with you guys, what's so funny, Mr. Rosenberg?
Nothing. I'm just laughing because Steve is also laughing.
For those watching at home, Steve is he's our tech guy. He's amazing. But let me also, if you guys don't mind, can I give you my WrestleMania prediction on Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio?
Are we getting to that later?
Well, I mean, we can with little prediction music. I mean, we can since Del Rio and Swagger, we're talking about them right now. We can bring it up. Obviously, again, each week the prediction could very well change because we're still a little over 3 weeks away. But lay it on me, Cameron. What you got?
All right, folks. Well, I've been reading a lot about this. Figure 4 online saying the storyline's not going well with WWE TV.
Oh,
with,
no. Dirt
Zeb
sheet stuff?
Coulter.
No, bad.
Well, I'm going to use it. I'll be the first ever host here on AfterBuzz to use the dirt sheets because, hey, someone's got to do it, and I'm willing to take it. So, yeah, they say the Figure 4 online saying the storyline's not going well at WWE TV with Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger. And, I see it too. There's a lack of jeers, and for Alberto Del Rio's storyline, there's a lack of cheers. And, folks, when you get this kind of match for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 29, I'm going to say this match is my prediction is going to be, this is going to be the first match at WrestleMania. And not only that, we're going to have a big cataclysmic, it's going to go intergalactic cosmos when these two wrestlers hit together, and then we're going to hear a silent yet deadly, but folks, I think in Latin they call that a dud. That's what I think is going to be with the match.
You drank a lot of coffee and you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed today because all of a sudden you're just Mr. Negative, man.
I'm not Mr. Negative. I love these wrestlers,
it could very well
say that's what I think is going to happen.
It could very well be the opening match. The last 2 years, the opener has been the World Heavyweight Championship match. So that's nothing out of the ordinary. Last 2 pay-per-views, it's opened with a World Heavyweight title match. That's nothing out of the ordinary.
Hey, I never said that's a negative thing. It's just the opening match. That's my prediction.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Well,
I mean, I think it'll be a good... I think they're going to give it a good 15 to 20 minutes worth on the pay-per-view. I think it'll be a solid match. It'll be interesting to see how they work the ankle lock versus the cross arm breaker. well, you know what, we're still a little few weeks away, so I don't want to give my official prediction on who's going to win yet.
Let me just be quickly clear on this, that I believe it's going to be a fizzled-out match simply due to the fact that I don't believe they have established Alberto Del Rio enough as a fan favorite.
Wandered off the subject. Please return at once.
All right.
Yep.
Let's get back to the show, guys. We'll do that for predictions.
Thank you, Steve.
All right.
Yep. So we're coming back. We come back from commercial. 3MB is hanging out in the ring. We're going to get to see them. McIntyre all taped up, you know, selling the effects that he took on Raw, taking World's Strongest Slam after Shell Shock, after World's Strongest Slam, after Shell Shock over and over again. Definitely feeling the effects of that from Raw. But he's still going to fight it out. He's still toughing it out. He's going to tag up with Heath Slater as they go in and take on the Usos. We were talking about last week about the wrestlers and their entrances, and we get the Usos entrance. This is one of the most enjoyable entrances I love because they do this chant, and they're screaming so loud that they don't have the mic, but you hear them, you know, like throughout the arena. And I think they're the lowest people on the card that actually have pyro, because they get the little pyro when they enter too, and they're an actual legit tag team. And there are so many teams, and this has been going on for years, where, you know, they'll just pair different single guys up and we're going to have you as a team for a while. The Usos are one of the few that's actually like a legit team. You never really see them work singles match unless for some reason one of them was injured.
Right.
So I want more of the Usos, and they're fantastic workers. You know, obviously the you know, sons of Rikishi, and I thought, you know, they went ahead and started putting on a good match because Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre, I enjoy both of them too. Heath Slater, always entertaining. Usos actually kind of mocked Slater early on in the match, which kind of threw me off again because, all right, Usos are the babyface. Why are they doing a mocking type thing? You know, that's not really meant for them. But Cole and Miz, while this match is going on, are talking about who is more powerful, Ryback or Mark Henry? Because, you know, kind of pushing, you know, this interaction that they had, because we're watching Drew McIntyre, and every time he did anything in the match, he's, you know, holding the ribs or holding his back. Definitely doing a great job, great job selling the onslaught that he had. Slater goes for a variation of a Dudley dog, where he like gets him set for a bulldog and runs over the ropes, but it's countered by a backdrop. Usos make the hot tag. We get a big Samoan drop, huge kick to the skull on Slater from the outside at this point, because he also made a tag to McIntyre. And then super kick to McIntyre, which is followed up by the Usos hitting the big splash, which was made famous by the Head Shrinkers, Rikishi, back when he first started in WWE. And the Usos pick up a nice win on Main Event.
I gotta say, I'm digging the Usos, and just to tell our fans, that song that they chant at the beginning when they come out is called the Sivatau. It's a war dance, Samoan war dance, and it gets them emotionally invested in that match, and I really dig their entrance.
I dig their entrance. I want to see more of them on Raw and SmackDown as well. Like, it's weird. For like a few weeks, we'll suddenly start seeing them, and then they'll vanish again, and then they'll reappear again, because they've been around for, I want to say, at least 3 years now.
Well, sadly, my prediction is they might vanish again, because it was recently reported today that Jimmy Uso was arrested for a DUI yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, well, Swagger was too, but obviously nothing happened to him. So
Seems
we'll
like
see.
There's a new standard.
Kaori, what did you think of the match?
I enjoyed it. The splash at the end, it would have been a little cooler, in my opinion, if the guy didn't climb up his brother and jump from the rope, maybe on his shoulders. That would have been kind of cooler. But I liked it. I like the Usos. They have personality. Love the intro. And that was, you know, it was a good match. Should I rate it now? Or?
Go for it. Why not?
Yeah.
I would give it a 3.5.
Cameron?
I gotta say, 2 and 1 4 stars.
You are just really tough. You just said you enjoyed it, and you're still giving it
Hey, a 2 and 1 4 star is a great rating, folks. For me to get into the 3-star level, it's got to be memorable for me. I got to remember it, you know, a few weeks from now.
I personally give it 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It was a fun tag team match. I like both. I like 3MB a lot. I want to see more of them. I want to see more of the Usos. Like to see them more on Raw. Could have gone a little longer, but obviously, you know, they do have the own time constraints because we have a lot of recaps for the end of the show for all the big things that happen on Raw. So it made sense for the time limit. But I enjoyed it. It was a fun tag team match with 2 actual tag teams.
Yeah.
So enjoyed it.
I just want to say disclaimers. When I rate this, I'm rating on Main Event. I'm not comparing it to other matches in the whole wrestling world, because obviously Raw has more time, SmackDown will have more time, WrestleMania has, Main Event will only have like 2 to 3 matches. So I'm just giving the strict
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. We get it.
I'm not worried. Just letting you guys know.
That's
And
all
I
right.
love it.
You
I
know, it's
love
all right. Letting the fans know about your rating and your comments on it. And you know where else the fans can do their ratings and their comments? By going to iTunes. You can check us out on iTunes. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating. We're off to a great start. There's only episode number 2, but we're flying over there on iTunes. Leave a good comment as well as comment the YouTube page as well. And make sure the most important thing, tell a friend, tell a mom, tell a dad, tell a sister, tell a brother, tell your dog. Tell people to get on, watch it, listen to it, and help spread the good word, because AfterBuzz has now a 3rd WWE show, and that's this one. And you know what? We should make the 3rd one the number 1 one.
That's right.
I also want to give a shout out to the lady and gentlemen chatting with us tonight. We have
go for it.
Osama, Ryan Whittleston, and Chris Mingle. You guys are always entertaining. Thank you for tweeting.
Osama actually tweeted me earlier today because she's out in Osama's out in Saudi Arabia. Checking in with us, so I think that's very cool. We are worldwide, Cameron.
For the folks at home, are we referring to Osama bin Laden or Osama somebody else?
We are referring to a WWE fanatic and a fan of AfterBuzz with the Twitter handle of Osama.
I might not be her, but she's still pretty.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense because I think they killed bin Laden.
Either way, go to iTunes and give us 5 1/4 stars.
Yes,
That's
if you can possibly add an extra 4th star to it, do it. We come back to main event. We get a video recap that aired during Raw between Cena and The Rock, the video package that they aired, and we have that video package again here on main event. This video package, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just thinking it's making Cena try to look like this never can do anything wrong saint, and The Rock for beating him last year at WrestleMania is such a villain. He's the reason that Cena was attacked by Lesnar. He's the reason he lost to Dolph Ziggler. He's the reason that TMZ reported that he got a divorce. I mean, apparently The Rock is to blame for all of this stuff for Cena, and he can redeem himself at WrestleMania by defeating him. I just think they're pushing a little too much to try to make Cena seem like, there's only so much that he can take, and they're making Rock sound like a bad guy, which he's not.
You're saying like they're throwing a pity party on John Cena?
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think seeing these promos with Cena and Rock, I kind of wish they would talk more about the championship itself instead of like how he's feeling. Yeah.
Reminder: the WWE title's on the line in this match.
You know what I mean?
And they barely touched on that at all.
The Rock switched off his belt and made it completely, renewed it. And
which I love.
Yeah, I love that belt, but there's no talk about the championship really.
Well, they did show it in the montage, the new belt.
They showed it. They're not talking about the title.
Right.
They're talking about the pains and the woes.
It's not. For some reason, this is not about Cena winning the WWE title. It's about Cena in redemption. When WrestleMania, the main event of it, you want the biggest prize in the game, which is the WWE Championship. So, that should take precedent over anything else.
Well, as I said last week on main event show of our main event show, that they're trying to make Cena look as real as possible. And I was actually quite surprised they used the pictures of from TMZ on his divorce. Even I was reading JR'sBarbecue.com blog, and he, good old JR, was surprised that they used it. And again, I think they're trying to create that pity, but also they're trying to make him really relatable to the rest of the American population. And don't forget, we got a high divorce rate in this country.
I think they've been doing that ever since he's been around. He is like.
He's the face of the WWE. There's no question about it. And obviously, any little thing that any top tier guy does, especially Cena, is going to get reported by somebody. It's just why use this for WrestleMania when it should be about the WWE title? That's just my beef with it.
That's like head on nail right there for me.
What did you guys think of The Rock and Cena not being on Raw?
I thought it was fine because they used it to build up the CM Punk Undertaker stuff, which we're going to get to a little later. So I really, honestly, did not have any problem with it. All of a sudden, when we finished that video recap, we get another one back on Raw, seeing Brock Lesnar come out during the New Age Outlaws World Scholars Tag Team match, where Lesnar just laid out Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. F5 on both of them. Heyman mentions that Brock Lesnar will indeed fight Triple H at WrestleMania, but only if he agrees to a stipulation of their choosing, which he won't find out until after he signs the contract. So I like to say from last week on what I said about this, I get partial credit. Because I said he would say no unless for somebody said yes unless something. But you know, be interesting to see what type of stipulation they're going to come up with.
Well, you know, there was some word actually that there was going to be an MMA-style match for this stipulation. But I believe it was Figure 4 Online that said that there's not going to be any MMA match as a stipulation.
Well, as pointed out on the Buzz and After Raw show, the UFC has all the rights to Octagon and to Octagon cages. So they would not be able to do a UFC style. It would have to be a completely different shape, if anything. So, I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be some type of, you know, maybe like a last man standing, you know, like a no-rule style match, but also have some type of stipulation maybe that has Triple H, like, you know, has to surrender the right of being COO or something of that nature.
Also seeing as, well, did you have something to say?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Also seeing as you have classified me as the dirt sheet guy, if you want to just use that as a negative term. I don't
Cameron,
think it's
the
a
dirt
negative
sheet Cash.
I don't think it's a negative term at all. I think
I'm
it's
not saying
great
it's a
for the
negative term
fans
at
to be
all.
as knowledgeable as possible. Nevertheless, a little quick spoiler here. Cut off the video if you don't want to hear this. But
No
of course-
spoilers. No, you're going to spoil SmackDown for people? Is that what you're
No,
going to do?
I'm not going to spoil
Okay, because
SmackDown.
I don't want you to.
Spoiler alert.
Is that okay if I say it?
Go for it.
Okay. According to Wrestling Observer, Triple H might actually win this match at WrestleMania because, you know, he don't forget Brock Lesnar beat him at SummerSlam 2012, broke his arm twice, and even broke Shawn Michaels' arm. And they're even saying maybe Shawn Michaels will even be at WrestleMania as well.
This is more of a prediction.
It's more of a prediction than a spoiler.
Well,
They said might.
Well, it's pretty much leaning toward yes.
Well, we'll wait and see with that one. I think that one's definitely going to be a hard-hitting. You're not going to see moonsaults in that match. It's just going to be a hard-hitting brawl, weapons. I would not be surprised if we see blood, you know, on the very rare occasion that WWE has that.
Well,
Give
we
me
just
in the
saw
PG
blood
area.
recently.
Well,
And he was cut the hard way there, though. Yeah, but who knows? We'll see. We also, you know, find out that this Friday, we were talking about Ryback and Mark Henry earlier, but they're actually going to go one-on-one on SmackDown, which to me makes no sense if they're starting to try to build us up for a potential WrestleMania match. You know, who knows? Like, maybe something's going to happen in the match. Obviously, we'll have to tune in and see. And our, you know, cool AfterBuzz SmackDown guys, they'll go over all of that on when they're on Sunday. I believe that's when the SmackDown AfterBuzz airs. All of a sudden, though, we come back to the action at Main Event. Justin Gabriel already in the ring. Wade Barrett comes out, Intercontinental Champion, comes out this week in his jacket with a rose. 1 week he has the jacket, the next week he doesn't, the following week he does, the following week he doesn't. He really needs to pick on what he's going to wear to the ring.
Why does he got to pick it?
Why?
Wait a second. I think that jacket with the rose kind of makes him look pretty hot, you know, for whatever floats his boat.
I like the jacket. I think the jacket suits him very well for the entrance. It's just like 1 week he'll have a jacket, next week he'll just wear his t-shirt, next week he won't have either.
Hey, who cares, man? He's human. Yeah. What do you think, though? I want to know what you think because I think it makes him look pretty good. What are your thoughts on the jacket and the flower?
I honestly don't have an opinion on his outfit. I mean, it's fine with or without the jacket.
It's just a jacket. It's just his jacket.
Yeah, let's move forward.
Thank you. Gabriel already in the ring. Like I said, Barrett comes out. We're going to have former Nexus members battle out here in our main event of Main Event. Miz obviously just giving Barrett a cold stare because on Monday Night Raw, we know it's going to be The Miz versus Chris Jericho versus Wade Barrett in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. We'll see what happens with that. But again, I feel it's continuing to build up for this Miz versus Wade Barrett WrestleMania match.
I'm with you there. I think the prediction is there. But
Wait,
go ahead.
I don't agree with that prediction.
Okay.
And specifically because I've been doing a lot of research on this, guys. You know, Wrestling Observer has been hinting toward a possible match with Chris Jericho and Fandango at WrestleMania. It's possible. Usually Wrestling Observer is pretty much right.
Sure, but we said Miz and Barrett, so Jericho has nothing to do with it.
Actually, it does because what I'm thinking here is that with the Miz and Barrett match, if that's going to be at WrestleMania, it's probably going to be for the Intercontinental title. And don't forget, next week on Raw, we're going to see that triple threat match with the Miz, Wade Barrett, and Jericho, which I'm estimating first that Jericho's going to win that match and win the Intercontinental title for the 10th time. That's my guess.
And you're thinking that Fandango's going to battle?
And as a result, Chris Jericho will battle Fandango for the IC title. That's my guess. Could be totally wrong. But based on
we just
what
need
I'm
a prediction music going throughout this show today because you're just predicting things left and right. Well, again, Raw, we'll see what happens with that triple threat match. But anyway, back to this match. We got, Gabriel starting out really showing his quickness, and it's a shame that you don't see it often because Justin Gabriel is a very talented athlete and, should get a little more time than he does.
He's fabulous.
He starts with quick, a bunch of kicks, a springboard, close on off the second rope. Barrett, though, trips up Gabriel and then takes control with that big boot while Gabriel's holding on to, the ropes along the apron, a signature Wade Barrett move. I love it. Just seems very punishing. Very, very good. Big series of kicks, though, once Gabriel showing some fight, coming back, gets a beautiful one to the face, but Barrett responds with a kick of his own into the chest, even though Michael Cole said it was in the jaw. It was right in the chest, and when Gabriel holds the chest, you kind of know that. It's all right. And then Wade Barrett winding up, going for that bull hammer. Justin Gabriel ducks, to his credit, hops off the second rope, and then runs right into it. Probably the most devastating bull hammer I have seen yet. And Wade Barrett, hey, a champion won a match. How about that?
That was the most beautiful bull hammer I've ever seen by Wade Barrett. That was fantastic. Fantastic. How he gets him right in midair. It was really great to see.
It reminds me of years ago, there was a match, if you remember Rhino with his gore.
Oh, yeah.
And, obviously the gore always looked devastating. And he did a match with Jeff Hardy. And Jeff Hardy jumped off the second rope and got gored in midair, and it was the most devastating gore I've ever seen. And this was the most devastating bull hammer that I remember seeing since Wade Barrett has started doing the move. I really enjoyed the match, and I thought it really helped push, the match on Monday Night Raw between Barrett, Miz, and Jericho quite a bit. And of course, it ending with Barrett stepping out of the ring, holding his title, standing face to face with the Miz.
Corey, what did you think?
I liked it. Can I rate it?
Go right ahead.
I will also give that one a 3.
A 3, okay.
I enjoyed the match. I liked the bull handle, and I
Bull
thought
hammer.
hammer. Excuse me.
No worries.
And it was good. I just liked it.
Cool. Cameron?
2 and 1, 4 stars, guys. 2 and 1, 4 stars.
Okay. I also give it a 3. I agree with you. I thought it was a good competitive match. I thought we saw a lot out of Justin Gabriel. Again, obviously due to time constraints, couldn't go. If it went maybe 2 minutes longer, I think I would have pushed it up to 3.5 or so. But obviously time constraints.
Exactly.
But I thought it was a very entertaining match and interesting. I'm actually kind of surprised. I don't think they really mentioned anything about Nexus when they were wrestling each other because they couldn't make the comments of how they know each other so well since they came up in NXT together, formed a Nexus together, and all that. But overall, I thought it was a very entertaining match, and and I want more Justin Gabriel. Hopefully he'll be able to talk soon or maybe make him make a heel turn have him have a manager who can talk for him because he has the skills to definitely provide quality matches.
I'm looking forward to it myself.
Me too.
And then from there we take a look. Second week in a row we see a red carpet premiere on WWE Main Event. But this week it's for The Call, starring Halle Berry, Abigail Breslin, and David Otunga, the Harvard Law graduate with a perfect record whenever he's an attorney at law. Not so much when he wrestles. But I thought this little segment, plugging the movie was good. We saw clips of the movie. We heard a lot of interviews. Otunga, unlike Barrett and his, we see Otunga speak. We see him actually having a decent role in this movie. It looks like a good thriller type of movie.
Do we really need to talk about this? We may as well just talk about.
Oh, it's part of the show, right? We're talking about the show.
I mean,
it was like a commercial.
But it's part of wrestling. Like right now, we've got The Miz, we've got Wade Barrett, we've got Otunga. They're all doing movies. We should talk about it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And speaking of movies, I know I was with you last week. Did you get a chance to go see Adventures of Zero Buddy starring a good friend, Maria Menounos?
I saw it twice actually.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I believe there's one more day right now where it's running across the country. So, folks, go to adventuresofsilverbuddies.com. Make sure you check this movie out. There's only one more day left in theaters, and then from there, it's going to be going on Blu-ray and DVD. And I can't wait to see all the bonus features and all that. With the cast in there, I'm sure there are plenty of funny bloopers as well.
I had a chance to meet the cast. These guys are really talented, and I was even talking with them. There's even a good chance a few weeks from now, upon the release on the internet, we might get them for an interview. So.
That'd be awesome. We'll wait and see. We'll keep you guys posted on that. And then we finish off WWE Main Event with a recap of pretty much what Monday Night Raw was all about. You know, the memoriam, like the tribute for Paul Bearer, which, you know, obviously we touched on at the end of the show last week. But I thought, you know, between, you know, Paul Bearer, Undertaker, Kane, and CM Punk, I thought it was so well done. You know, they in a way kind of, I'm sure with permission from the family, at least I would hope so, you know, to use, you know, like it and a storyline type idea, but they did it very classy, and they touched base throughout the show. You had the, you know, the tribute vignettes, excuse me, on Paul Bearer. You had the whole urn. You had Kane getting a main event. All of a sudden, Kane turned into a monster again this week. It was great.
Yeah.
Kane was who he was when he was managed by Paul Bearer. And I thought it was really a real positive. Kind of, it almost looked like it was focused more around Kane than Undertaker, because being, you know, Paul Bearer was Kane's father.
Yeah.
And you know, Kane pick up the win at the end, and then CM Punk stealing the urn just adds so much fuel. And we got to think, between the two of them on Raw, there really wasn't a lot said, but so much was done. And all of a sudden, from one Raw, Punk and Undertaker is, in my opinion, a bigger draw than Cena Rock.
Well done to the writers, though. I got to say, this was magnificently done. I got goosebumps at the beginning with Undertaker doing his salute, and then seeing the CM Punk suddenly take over the Titantron. And, you know, even, you know, it's interesting. You mentioned about if they got permission from Paul Bearer. There was actually a report by PW Insider that his sons, Michael and Daniel, were actually at the show. And a lot of people were wondering if this was a good idea to include him in a storyline this quickly. It hasn't even been a week since William Moody, a.k.a. Paul Bearer's passing. And JR said on his blog, JR's Barbecue, that hey, I knew William Moody really well, and I think he would have loved being included in a storyline that connects to WrestleMania. So, hey.
What did you think?
I'm with you. I really liked it. I really thought, I was happy that they put it on Main Event again, a review of what happened in Raw. I thought it was very tasteful.
Yes.
Considering, you know, everything that's happened. And I thought seeing Kane and his, like, anger with Undertaker, it was perfect.
It was an excellent moment, and it's just really interesting to see how it's going to go from here. Is all of a sudden on Raw, is CM Punk going to come out with the urn? Is somehow the urn going to be involved in their WrestleMania match? I mean, we were talking last week, obviously, about the streak, and, you know, we were saying, you know, this streak, you know, there's, you know, like, no way that it could possibly end. But if anybody can make us believe that it could, and talking, CM Punk and Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And CM Punk barely spoke on Raw, but his actions all of a sudden made us just like, whoa, wait, he has the urn. He has the Undertaker's power.
Yeah.
That's how the Undertaker thrives off the urn. If he destroys the urn, the Undertaker's powerless.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you also. It's like waiting for WrestleMania. I'm anticipating that match more than the Cena Rock match at this point.
Well, don't forget the reason why The Rock and Cena weren't at Raw. The Rock was in South Korea promoting his new G.I. Joe movie, and there was a report, I believe, according to...
Well, they didn't
You've been
really
doing a lot of reports.
Well, look, real quick
Lots of
here,
reports, man.
But I don't think
We're all here just talking about the shows that we watch on TV.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, hey, people want to know what's going on. This is an after show. It's not the actual show again. But real quick, yeah, there was a report that the reason why they didn't put Cena on the show would make Cena look weak, according to PW Insider, because The Rock wasn't even on Raw. So they just gave him ample opportunity to put a lot of focus on the Undertaker CM Punk match.
Well, I think that you know, they didn't really need Cena or Rock. I mean, they keep doing promos of them anyway. There's no need for them to argue right now.
No, and
that's all they're doing.
And it was perfectly fine that they weren't there for it this week. I mean, you know, next week we'll have more of it. We're gonna have more with Triple H, Brock Lesnar, you know. But also, it's a matter of, you know, we need to know the rest of this card.
Yeah,
we need to know the rest. I mean, we pretty much know like 3 matches or so, and there's about 3 weeks left. A little over three Raws left.
Yeah.
So we really need to see, because let's see, we got Rock Cena. We got Triple H Lesnar. We got Taker Punk.
Alberto Del Rio versus Swagger.
Del Rio and Swagger. So there's 4. Those are really the only ones that have officially been announced as of this point.
Right.
And, you know, WrestleMania usually has 8 to 10 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Including, you know, the pre-show as well. You know, there'll be probably at least 1 match in the pre-show. So you're thinking, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe even 12 matches. And you got 3 weeks to get it all right. Hopefully,
Yep.
In SmackDown, we see some more things, getting set up.
They have a lot to catch up on.
Don't forget
Well,
about
not
that
catch up on,
WrestleMania bonus. A lot of these wrestlers really want to make it to WrestleMania, and there was even
You
some
get
talk.
you get a big payday when you work WrestleMania.
And there was some talk that people were upset that Rock wasn't there.
Well, of course the
Yeah.
fans in attendance would be upset.
No.
'cause they wanna see
His
The Rock.
coworkers, his wrestlers, his fellow wrestlers. There was a report of that. So
Well,
it
that's
makes
been going on
sense.
since he came back because he's not a full-time schedule. But who knows? Go ahead.
Adrian from the chat is saying
Yes.
that 5 tag teams have been a 5 tag team has been added. Shield versus Ryback, Big Show, and Orton. He thinks.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry?
Shield versus Ryback, Big Show, and Orton.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. The six. Well, that would make sense.
Oh.
Being how they've been put in the last few weeks with Sheamus and Orton feuding with the Shield and Big Show being attacked by them. That would make sense. Maybe on SmackDown we'll get the I don't know if maybe that's officially been announced and it'll be airing on SmackDown or what, but we shall see.
Yeah.
So
we'll
far, I
see.
think the matches we said are only the official ones, but that's a good chance.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously that one makes sense because it's been built up, but we'll wait and see on that. But guys, that pretty much wraps up main event for the week of March 13th. Overall, I thought it was a very meh show. I mean, there were a few entertaining matches. Obviously, heading up to WrestleMania, there are going to be a lot more recaps, which makes sense because we're preparing for the biggest event of the year. So, I mean, it's definitely, if you somehow miss Raw, well, first off, if you miss Raw, then you should tune into the Buzzin' After Raw, AfterBuzz. And just do it to begin with anyway, as well as our show because we're awesome.
That's right.
But it's going to be a lot of for the build-up heading into WrestleMania. We'll have a few matches, and they're nice, quality, little entertaining matches. I don't think the overall quality of these matches were as entertaining as last week.
Yeah.
But the Barrett Gabriel match I thought was solid. The Uso 3MB match I thought also was solid. So we'll see how it goes from there.
What were your thoughts on the show?
I think that what I've noticed, at least on this particular episode, was that it was a lot more focused on the individual rather than like the match itself. Like the Usos. I was more like entertained by them rather than, well, I was entertained by the match, but as characters, it was kind of like main event is a nice place to get them to build their character. And that's what I noticed in this episode particularly.
It was an okay show. I mean, I don't expect a whole lot from WWE Main Event, although I would really hope they would put more effort into the show. But hey, it's more of it's a recap of what happened on Raw, and also, of course, they add in those 3 matches. And hey, it was good wrestling tonight. It was good.
Yeah, definitely. Kaori, how can the fans interact with you, and where can we see you next?
Well, before we do that, do you want to do a shout out about the...
Oh, I almost forgot. You're right. Shout out because we got a big thing coming on. Speaking of WrestleMania, the Sunday WrestleMania, if you're in the LA area and because you're not going to New York, it's completely sold out for WrestleMania. Not able to go. Well, we have the next best thing because at the John Lovitz Comedy Club in at the Universal Studios City Walk, Universal City, California, they're kind enough to host us having WrestleMania there. Huge screen TV, great food, good drinks. It is open to all ages. Obviously, if you're under 21, you won't be able to get, the adult beverages. But, it's going to be a real fun time. And then afterwards, we're going to have, a big WrestleMania AfterBuzz special with the guys from Buzzin' After Raw. I believe, I think I'm going to be a part of that as well. I think you guys might be a part
Oh,
of it.
really? You guys are both a part of it.
Well, we'll see. You might be too. Who knows? It's going to be a great time. And there's going to be a lot of people. We want people to attend this event because we want that place packed. So it'd be very important. Guys, come on out.
Yeah.
What better way, if you're not actually there in person, what better way than be there with literally hundreds of other wrestling fans that are there to watch some great wrestling. Even if you're in Nevada or Arizona, you could take that road trip and have a blast that WrestleMania weekend. Because WrestleMania weekend, everyone takes it off. It's like the Super Bowl. Come on.
I'm already excited about WrestleMania. How exciting would it be to be talking about this with fans, watching the show with fans? It would just be phenomenal. So join us.
I'm ecstatic. So is this going to be an after show or a pre-show?
It would be AfterBuzz. AfterBuzz live at the John Lovitz Comedy Club.
So is it going to be during WrestleMania?
It'll be after it.
After WrestleMania.
Hence AfterBuzz.
Because I also heard there's going to be actually a YouTube WWE pre-show for WrestleMania.
Right, the pre-show, like they've been doing for
yeah.
several pay-per-views. So, you know, we'll see. We'll probably be watching it there as well. So, you know, Kaori, how can people reach you?
In the meantime, please reach me at KAORIOUS.
Cameron.
Guys.
Cameron, the Dirt Sheet Cash. How can they reach you?
Hey, the dirt sheet has a negative connotation. I just like to give you guys a wealth of amazing information. I know some people might not agree, but hey, you can follow me at Twitter, LAXPOSED. No E before the X. It's LA Exposed.
There you go. And I'm Christian Rosenberg. You can follow me on Twitter at CRosieVOC. On behalf of everybody here, thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.